I met Mike towards the end of the first half of my sophomore year. I was introduced to Mike by a good friend of mine from grade school, Rich Bongiorno. Mike is the type of individual that a school like Ignatius would want to celebrate. He kind of represents the type of person that we all want to strive to be.
Mike is an ever faithful friend. We were both kids. We grew up in the same neighborhood. We went to the same grade school, high school, obviously. And it started back then and has gone ever since. He is somebody who walks into a situation fully prepared, open-minded, ready to solve the problem.
So I met Mike freshman class, the 1C B zones, and knew right off the bat that Mike was a leader. Mike's a relentless guy. That's the one word that I would use to describe Mike, is relentless. He worked on the John Carroll board for about 20 years. He just wouldn't leave. And if it wasn't for a mandatory retirement, he'd still be there today. In fact, I think he's worked so many hours on those John Carroll boards that he qualifies for their pension plan.
Mike is someone that leads by example. When you look at what he's done in his professional life, the men and women that he has helped in careers, businesses that he has helped guided, he has led the board of trustees at John Carroll University for many, many years, been very involved in Boys Hope, Girls Hope. So he's constantly engaged in what's best for other people and how best to help them. And that's, again, something that's very endearing about Mike and why he's such a great friend.
A clear example of his being a man for others has been his sustained and generous and leadership roles with Boys Hope, Girls Hope. His involvement in helping that organization succeed at every level. He spent countless hours, as you probably well know, on a volunteer basis for John Carroll University, and he is somebody who is by nature very generous. He walks that walk.
To be able to contribute what he has done to charities, to businesses, to have a family that he has, that takes a lot of discipline and a lot of talent. And I think Mike is really a person that you're lucky to say that you're a friend with.
Mike is super deserving. We've always known he's special. Shows in many ways, all the volunteer work he does and the work he's done with his friends and family. He's just always there for you and distinguished in his career and his life. So it was no surprise to us. We call Mike kind of a big deal because he is kind of a big deal and remains kind of a big deal. Even most of us are retired. He keeps going full blast. In fact, I think I should say right now, Mike, time to retire.
The way they treated young men, young people who weren't ready for the job, that rubbed off on me in my whole career, that there's young talent out there, young people that just need a chance, need development, need coaching, but need the opportunity to stretch. And Ignatius stretched us, and there's these groups of people I've come across in my 20s, 30s, 40s that we stretched people into jobs they weren't ready for, but they had all the elements of hard work, integrity, leadership, doing the right thing, all those values that Ignatius inspired in us. I ran across that in my career. When you recognize those people, you give them a chance, and they'll rarely disappoint you. And then just being around a group of young boys that became young men over 4 years was a fantastic experience.